Oh my god, my hair. So, I want to do this video. Um, I have something to tell you. So, I want to say I'm divinely guided. I, so these videos are not just for my personal fulfillment, for my own satisfaction, but they're also to share with you things that I know. It may make me sound crazy or arrogant or like full of myself or even delusional. But the fact is, and I've talked about this in previous vlogs before, um, I'm on a spiritual path, and you can be too. I don't know if you want to or not, but I didn't. Anyway, I had a spiritual awakening about 8 years ago, and a lot has happened since then. I started becoming psychic at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, and that led me to start using oracle cards, and then when I got comfortable with those, comfortable in the sense that I wasn't comfortable with them because I grew up religious and I thought I was evil. I thought I was essentially, against God. Anyway, I'm not religious anymore, but I miss like Catholic iconography, and it was a part of, and it is a part of my culture, Catholicism, especially being Mexican American. I'm half Mexican American, but I grew up in a mixed generation Mexican household. So my mom is American, but my abuelitos are from Mexico. And I mean, my mom's Mexican American, but American. So yeah. Anyway, eventually I started using tarot, and I started becoming less afraid of my psychic abilities. And this spiritual awakening, it happened because I met my twin flame. And for anybody who has questions about a twin flame or is curious about what that is, a twin flame is not your romantic partner. It's not somebody you even necessarily have a lot, like everything in common with, or even a lot in common with in a certain way. It's somebody who shares your soul, and who has the same soul. It's it's complicated for me to describe, but it's somebody. All this about a twin flame is kind of a side note, but it's important because a lot of people have questions about it, me included when it first happened to me. But a twin flame is somebody who has the same soul as you, and if you meet them, then you both incarnated in essentially at the same time, same place, with the same soul, but they're your exact opposite in terms of the masculine feminine polarity within you. And so at first you do feel like romantic feelings for your twin flame, and then you go through this long process of trying to get closer to your twin flame. It usually doesn't turn out that way. Most twin flames don't end up together in a romantic relationship. Some twin flames are even like one person is gay. It's like totally like not realistic. Or you might live like on opposite ends of the world, or just something that's like it's not likely for you to be together and the point is not ultimately for you to be together. You might even just, and I think this happens with, if not all twin flames, probably all twin flames, you stop feeling attracted to them sometimes. Unless you are romantically compatible, you stop feeling attracted to them because I don't know. Anyway, they want me to talk about twin flames. There is a lot of misinformation about twin flames out on the internet. I remember scouring through videos and online text about twin flames trying to get answers. When I first had suspicions that I was a twin flame, that I was experiencing a twin flame connection, I remember like pain, like feeling like intense, like emotional. I wouldn't even call it emotional. It was like spirit, like pain in my spirit. It's hard to describe. I wasn't. All of this was debilitating to the point where I wasn't able to do anything aside from heal. And I guess all this to say is that I feel, and I'm pretty seasoned in being a guide for others to live the right way. What happens when you have a twin flame is that your world is turned upside down. You feel like you cannot go on without a connection with your twin flame. What you're missing is a connection with yourself. Because there is this exact polarity between you and your twin flame, so you might be 50% masculine, sorry, okay, you might be 40% masculine, 60% feminine generally, and this isn't gender based at all. It's just like, are you more nurturing? Are you more logical? That's just examples of what it is to be feminine versus masculine. This can be for any gender. So if you're 40% masculine, 60% feminine, generally, then your twin flame is, what did I say? The opposite of that. So if you're 40-60, they're 60-40. Does that make sense? So because being a twin flame compels you and forces you to be in harmony with yourself, to be in a generally perfect balance between your masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine encompasses a lot. It also encompasses shadow and light. It encompasses, how assertive but they're like one and the same. So it just pulls you into harmony with yourself, because that's kind of as much as I can say about that for now, and kind of as much as I can say about twin flames for now. But it's an important union. It's an important marriage of sorts. And I have gone through a lot of healing because of the twin flame connection, because I learned that when I got closer to myself, more intimate with myself, more in harmony with myself, I was able to not feel this burdensome pull toward my twin flame. I didn't even necessarily want to like date him or anything like that. It really is mystifying. But ultimately, well, I've heard, so twin flames, the reason for why they incarnate is because they are on a mission to help heal the world, because there is this imbalanced polarity between masculine and feminine, between shadow and light. Right now, the world is full of a lot of darkness and a lot of aggression. And so the reason why twin flames incarnate as twin flames is so that they can bring the world into balance by bringing themselves into balance. So I have now, and this means you can trust me, not with everything, of course, always use your intuition, but generally when it comes to this, quote, spiritual stuff, you can trust me. This means that I have about 8 years of experience of bringing myself into harmony, and I can tell you that it's not always, it's like really kind of always fun. I'm still getting to this place where I'm really stable and comfortable in it, but it started with having gratitude. Actually, it started with having gratitude, and going hand in hand with having gratitude was letting go. And I'll give you an example. I remember as I was getting reacquainted with myself because of my spiritual awakening, and my spiritual awakening was compelling me to get reacquainted with myself. I wanted to read a book that I had read when I was a teenager, a younger teenager. And so I went to the library, I looked it up, and I went to the library where it said they had it to pick it up, but it wasn't there. And I had been in this mentality this internalized mentality where, you get upset when things don't go the way you had planned or the way you had expected. So I was like, well, I'm grateful for that. And I remember that, and it's like a magic tool. It really is almost like a magic tool where when you have gratitude for everything, nothing is bad. Now, disclaimer, I will say that I've gone through a lot of upsetting situations since my spiritual awakening. Practicing gratitude initially and kind of internalizing an orientation of gratitude and being able to let go when things are tough and just go with the flow. Um, I have still experienced things that were very difficult, really upsetting. Um, but there's a huge marked difference between my life now versus before my spiritual awakening, before I started practicing gratitude as an initial part of my spiritual awakening, where before it's like life felt like there was a lot of ego and stuffiness, and life was shorter back then. It was shorter because oftentimes I was stuck on something because it wasn't perfect or was upsetting me or I was holding on to it, a relationship, a person, an expectation. Now I just let go. And I'm going to pause this for a moment. So now I just let go is something didn't go my way. Sometimes, honestly, I get excited about it. I'm like, well, I wonder what life is going to bring to me. And it's kind of like I'm letting the universe be in control. Now, disclaimer, this does not mean that I live my life with, abandon. Like that I'm essentially neglecting being responsible, taking care of myself, and having, you know, expectations for my life. That's not what that means. But when something is out of my control, I get curious about what there is instead.